little cats. Come on into the Cat and Tree studio. Together, let's set foot in the mind of an adult. Are you ready to hop in?
Sitting up here in this tree, you have me, Jayu.
And me, Bora.
Quick reminder, little cats, topics discussed in this podcast are simply opinions and suggestions of the host, hoping for it to help others.
What's up? We're kind of in a long distance friendship right here because we haven't seen each other for quite some time. How many? Like a year, I guess?
More than a year, I think.
Since the pandemic started. I know.
It's been a long time.
We saw each other once. Remember when I
Last
when
year.
I got my stuff from work
Yeah.
and then you were there.
I think that's around August as well. So
It's a year.
Almost a
Yeah.
year, yeah.
So how has life been? Oh, by the way, before we start talking about our stuff, our first episode will be entitled 0 o'clock. And there's a reason behind that, right, Jayu?
Yes. So actually, it has a very deep reason. So the title was actually inspired by a song entitled 0 o'clock by the group BTS. So it's in the Map of the Soul 7 album. And Bora, can you tell them the meaning of the song?
Yeah, so the meaning of the song is, if you can see, it's 0 and then it's like a time. When you look at it, it looks like 12 midnight because at 12 midnight, that's when the new day starts. The old chapter has ended, another chapter has opened. And you will know later
Yes.
on why this is the title that we chose, right? So you
Exactly.
better listen.
Yeah.
Joke. You better listen. Why? I'm obligating them to listen.
Don't
I'm so
scare
sorry,
them.
I'm so sorry. It's the first episode and I'm already making an impression.
We have to
Yeah.
calm down.
But how have you been this pandemic? Like this whole thing?
Well, it's like a roller coaster ride. A lot of ups and downs. It hasn't been that long. I think I've been through a lot. Something that a person could experience for like their whole lifetime. I experienced it in more than a year. How about
Like-
you?
Yeah, I think I've been through the same like situation because during the pandemic, like your movement's kind of limited. You can't go out. Like if you're stressed and all, if you have like these, how can I say, if you're like attacked by something in your head, you don't really have the resources to like release, because usually when there's no pandemic, you go out with your friends, you just go out for coffee,
Yes.
you talk to your friends, or you can even like take transportation to just simply walk alone. But now it adds to your fear that when you do that, you're gonna get sick.
Exactly.
So it's kind of during the pandemic, you're kind of helpless.
Yeah, you have more worries.
That's true. And
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same with you, like because we're in like a lockdown or we're under ECQ, GCQ. Since you're just at home, maybe working at home, or you spend more time at home, it gives your mind more time to think.
Yeah, that's true. Whenever you have free time, instead of spending it on something, you spend it on thinking about everything about your life. Everything.
Yeah.
Literally.
That's actually true. Because
Yeah.
like you're even thinking of like, what am I doing with my life? Am I stuck here? Is it going to be
Yeah.
this way for the rest of my life? This pandemic has not been easy, I think, for everyone, because a lot of people have lost their job.
Exactly.
And that's very saddening.
So they're kind of worried about their future, about their present, like everything in their life, their family.
That's actually true. So this pandemic has been hard on everyone. So for the little things that we have to be thankful. For those who have their jobs, you have to be thankful. For those who are alive, you have to be thankful. The fact that you're breathing right now is already a blessing, so you have to be thankful about that.
There's also a positive side in, staying at home, because if you get sick, actually it's very difficult.
Yeah.
So getting sick, especially this time, we're not very sure if like we're gonna survive it or
That's
not.
true. Any kind of
Yeah,
like
I think-
symptom is like, am I okay?
Yeah, it's very scary.
It's not a normal feeling anymore. Just like before, like when you get colds, it's just like, or let's take
Yeah.
meds for it, or let's just drink lots of water. But now you'll be like, am I okay? I don't want to see people right now because I could have something.
Like you just have allergies. Like before, having allergies is very normal,
That's actually
and like now you just sneeze and then you're like, oh, okay, am I okay?
is this really my allergy or is this something else? To be honest, it adds to the anxiety that this whole pandemic
Yes.
has already given you. Like small feelings of discomfort becomes like
Hmm.
a tool for you to overthink, and then you're
And
helpless because you know the feeling that should I tell somebody that I'm feeling this, or am I okay, or
you're kind of scared to tell other
mm,
people because probably they might think that if they see you, they will try to avoid
yeah, that's
you.
true.
So you have that feeling.
Exactly. But of course, guys, if you are like feeling something or you're not feeling well or something like that, it's better to
Mm,
consult a medical professional for it, just so we keep everyone
exactly.
safe. But how's it
Yeah.
surviving? Because just to give everyone a background, we got closer with so many common factors. Right now, actually, me
Hmm.
and Jayu are, if I may call it, we are our mental health support.
So we support each other about mental health.
Mm.
I think
Yeah,
everything.
I think
Yeah.
I think we know more about each other than we did before when we met face to face. You wouldn't know the story. You wouldn't want to know the story. It's so complicated and all that stuff. But how's it surviving with anxiety during this pandemic? In your case,
Well, actually, it's kind of
mm.
difficult to survive, especially like when you're not. I mean, when you're alone,
Mm.
you don't have anyone to talk to. You don't have anyone to talk with. It gives you this feeling like, oh, am I alone?
Mm.
You know that you have
Yeah, I
friends,
do.
but
Mm.
you still feel like you don't have them because you don't see them.
That's
Like
actually
that
true.
feeling. They assure
Mm.
you that we are here, we're ready to listen, but you still have that feeling that I don't want to disturb them or
Yeah.
something. But the pandemic made it worse than before.
That's actually true.
Mm.
Especially, yeah, just like what we said before, your movements are
Mm-mm.
kind of limited. You can't even see them. Like, you can't even spend time to see
Yeah.
them because you're also
Mm-hmm.
thinking, like, oh, I could get something when I go outside. I'd rather stay
Yeah.
indoors. It's kind of
Yes.
difficult because, like, for example, in my case, I work outside.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I go home. I get my me time when, of course, I go to my bedroom and then just like
Mm-mm.
chill, and it gives me time to think. And at that time, especially when the room is so dark, I would think, why am I thinking about all these things? I'm filled with anxiety, and it's not easy to take away. You
Mm.
want to call your friends, but you don't want to be a burden because
Exactly.
you will think, oh, they're also going through some stuff. So I think I don't want
Mm-hmm.
to be an additional burden to them. Or
Mm.
you're shy to tell them what you're going through. Sometimes you would even think that what you're going through is petty.
Actually,
Mm.
yes, that's true. Yeah, I agree.
So it's difficult, during this pandemic. Thankfully, though, I have my faith with me. So surviving with
Mm-hmm.
anxiety is somehow, it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy,
Mm.
but it's something that I
Yes.
can cope with.
Mm-hmm.
Like surviving with anxiety during the pandemic is something that I can handle because I have my faith with me.
Mm.
Because without that, I think I would just go nuts. I
Yeah.
would really go nuts.
You're sure that no matter what happens, you still have
Exactly.
God with you.
That's actually how we were able to survive this whole thing. Our family actually got COVID, and that was like a
Mm.
difficult phase because getting the virus actually is, it drains you physically, to be honest. It changes a lot in your body.
Mm-hmm.
It weakens your system.
Mm.
But the worst is weakening your mental health.
Yes.
Because it really did with me. Because when you get COVID, to be honest, if you get COVID, you're just alone in the room. You have no one with you.
Mm.
The nurse checks on you like from time to time, but that's not often. Most of the time, you're
Mhm.
just alone. You're just watching TV alone in the hospital.
But usually people don't want to just spend time watching TV.
Yeah. Most of the time, you just want to sleep because you don't want to think about it.
Yeah, and your body feels weak.
Yes, but thankfully, though, with the faith that we have, we were able to survive that phase. It was very heavy, but it was really worth testifying.
Mm, exactly.
But how are things going in your area or?
Actually, I'm not sure. it's not it's not because I don't want to know, but 'cause I don't really go out, and I don't often watch the news.
Yeah.
Because it adds more
Yeah.
anxiety.
It's not because we want to be ignorant or something. It's just that
Yeah.
we're avoiding the overload of information in our heads.
Because every time I see like there's like 5,000 more cases today, like I feel like, oh my gosh, can I do my future dreams like that? Can I still
Yeah.
reach my dreams?
It makes you frustrated though. It's like
Yes.
not getting any better this time. It's like I've
But
got so
yeah.
much planned, but Corona said nah.
Like you're starting to plan again. Maybe there are times that they're telling in the on the news like everything is getting
Yeah.
better. You're starting to make plans for the next year, and then suddenly again,
Yeah.
it will be locked down.
Exactly.
So your hope is like goes up and down.
Doesn't stay up. It still goes down. So you're like,
Mm-mm.
oh, there's a possibility that this can actually
Mm.
be alleviated. But again, for everyone, still we have to, even though the numbers, or even if the numbers go down, we still have to
We're still
be careful. We cannot be relaxed.
careful. Exactly.
Okay, wear your mask,
Exactly.
guys.
Yeah. Wear your mask and get your vaccine.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
what was the most difficult thing that you had to go through that really triggered your anxiety?
Probably it was like around last year. I came back home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was locked down in another city because of my work.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I came back home, I don't know why. I mean, it's my home, so I should be comfortable, but I didn't feel home.
I think I kind of get.
I don't know. It's very difficult to explain though, so I hope you could
Yeah,
understand me.
actually, I think the feeling that you got when you got home is like it is your home. You haven't been home for weeks. You don't even
No,
a month.
months.
So, and you don't
Yeah.
know, and it's like a new safe space that you're still not sure of. It's like
And
your first safe place.
yes, but you also have that feeling like, okay, I'm home and I'm gonna stay here for a very long time with my family, only my family, like that feeling.
Yeah.
Because like no matter how much we love our family, so we also need maybe some days like we want to be far from them.
Yeah.
Okay. For other people, they love staying with their family. That's fine. I mean, we're different. So for me, that's what I feel. I want some days off
Yeah.
or away from them.
Actually, there are some people who are like that, even with your friends, even with whoever. Sometimes you just want to have like a different environment once in a while, just so you can refresh your mind. It's not that you don't love them. It's not that you don't appreciate them. It's just you want a new perspective. You want a new environment.
Yes.
That's kind of like a normal thing that people usually do. And how did you cope with that? Like, cuz you went home and your home became like your trigger. So how did you cope with that?
Actually, it was very difficult because I thought that home is, like a very comforting place, right? I was like, okay, should I try staying in the bedroom all day or do something at home all day? But nothing helped, really. I remember there were like nights when I cry myself to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, you don't really want to cry, but when you lie down in
You have
bed
that urge.
and like, yeah, like it's your time to shine, like that feeling. Because it's very quiet and it's like a perfect time to think. Even though you sleep together with your family in the bedroom, you still feel like, okay, I'm alone, like that feeling.
Yeah.
So, what I tried, okay, because during that time I was looking for things to like a new hobby or something that could take away my worries. So what I did was like I tried to listen to music. To be specific, I listened to all the BTS albums.
Yeah, I saw your story.
And so I made a whole playlist where I compiled all of their albums. And then I just left it in my ear. Like I was wearing my headset the whole night. So I did it maybe around 2 weeks. And it improved my emotion, my mental health. I'm not saying, like, I'm not very biased here, but honestly, it really improved my mental health. So of course it's not just like oh, I hear their voice, it feels so good. Not that. I actually tried to research about the translation of their songs, and the songs were really comforting.
Mm-mm.
That's how I did it.
That's actually a good
But
a good way to cope with it.
exactly. But how about you, Bora? How did you try to fight with this anxiety during the pandemic?
There's so many things that I've tried, and most of them actually worked. One of them is coffee. You know how they stop me, like when you're being attacked with your anxiety, don't drink coffee, but then coffee gives me comfort. So I tried, but coffee really gives me comfort. And I think also one thing is like watching some YouTube videos, but the biggest factor that helped me through is really like prayer. Because all the YouTube stuff, all the, let's say, the YouTube, the thing, and the music, it can comfort me temporarily, but it does though. But the one thing that really comforted me was really prayer, especially when I cry my prayers.
I agree with that.
Because I remember messaging you like I ugly cried like a few nights ago. The next day I was really like relieved because it's really effective because you're talking to somebody that really listens to you. And how did I know that he listened to me? Because he made me feel better. So I'm not like imagining things because he actually made me feel better. So I'm just like praying and like crying. It really helped me out because there's no other way to release your anxiety than to just cry it out and shout it out and maybe talk to God about it. I mean, in my opinion, though.
And you have to express your feelings because if you just keep it, when you keep it, it's unhealthy.
Exactly. So it's really comforting to know that somebody's listening to you 24/7. Anywhere.
Yes.
Actually, anywhere you may be. Maybe in your bedroom, in your office.
Yes.
Good thing I'm alone in the office.
You can talk to him anytime.
How many times did I cry in the office by myself? Because that's how I cope. That's how I try to cope. I talk to him. That's the most effective thing that I have ever tried to control my anxiety and cope with it. But you mentioned a while ago that you tried to learn some new skills and new hobbies. That's another coping strategy, right?
Yes. Because it takes you, like your focus is diverted to another thing.
Yeah.
So it's like when you're trying to learn something new, you will be stressed because of learning the new hobby or learning the new skill, not because of the problems that you're thinking about.
Yeah.
So recently, not very recent though, but I started painting.
Oh, that's good.
But I'm not good, okay?
But at least you started something. At least it's a...
Yes. Yeah, I tried. I'm trying. I'm still trying. Whenever I do it, actually it relieves the stress.
Yeah.
Because I focus so much. And instead of thinking about something like my problems, I forget about it, really.
Exactly. Because you found something to like maybe divert your attention to.
And I tried to find more hobbies, but it's just that I'm not very skillful in, playing instruments. I even bought a ukulele.
Oh, and how did that go?
I only used it maybe 3 times.
But that you can learn that at your own pace though. So you don't have to really rush yourself.
I really tried, but my memory is so bad that I whenever I try to play the song again, I forget the chords.
Because you have to memorize like all of them because it's like the timing.
So you have to memorize the chords, the strumming pattern, but my memory is just very short.
I cannot even disagree because like I'm also the same. I cannot even stop you there because I'm like oh yeah.
Oh yeah, by the way guys, we're both not skillful in playing instruments. We can't play instruments.
You can let us sing, but don't ask us to play any instruments. We're not gonna do anything for you, okay? It's you don't really get everything you want in life. That's a different story.
We can identify different sounds of the instruments.
Not play them.
But not play them, yeah.
We have limitations.
Sort.
Just like other people.
Exactly.
Don't have to force ourselves.
Yeah, since we're already talking about how we cope with this situation, Have you tried helping anyone cope in like this pandemic or with the anxiety that they have?
Yes, I have.
Mm.
There was one time that the day after my ugly cry,
Mm.
I had this feeling to chat some of my
Mm.
friends. So they're like, "Hi, so how are you?" Something like that. And then just suddenly there were like maybe a few friends that told me that they were not okay.
Mm.
Well, not particularly anxiety, but they're also going through some other stuff. So
Mhm.
in that area, I was able to help them with
Mhm.
whatever they're going through. May it be anxiety, or may it be insecurity, or may it be other stuff.
Mm.
Just by simply asking how they were. Does that
Yeah,
help?
actually, that's a great help.
Once in a while.
Just checking on
Yeah.
friends.
Ask your
Exactly.
friends, how are you? You wouldn't know what people are
Yeah.
going through. Or just like what we said,
Mm.
in our case, sometimes we just don't talk because we feel like we're going to burden people.
But if you will ask another person or other people, how are you? Please make sure that it's from your heart.
Yeah, not because you're like obliged to do it.
Yes, because you cannot expect what they're gonna answer.
Yeah.
And if they answer you, oh, I have problems, blah blah blah. Yeah, you might feel burdened because you're not ready to listen.
Yeah.
Please always make sure if you ask a person how they are, prepare yourself, especially now.
Exactly. And also, actually, those friends that I've talked to, one of those friends that I've talked to, I actually prayed for them. Like, we had a video call and I just like prayed for them. Because, you know, we've been friends for a long time, that person, and that is how we comfort each other. So it's one thing that we did to, or that's one thing I did to help him cope. How about you? Have you?
Actually, I've been checking my friends, IG story most of the time because I want to check. I don't want to chat them just very sudden, like, how are you? Because they know that I'm not that kind of person.
Yeah.
So I check them, I check their IG stories, and whenever I see something odd, I try to chat them like, oh, do you need someone to talk with? I'm just here, I'm ready to listen, just chat me, like that.
Yeah.
And after that, they're gonna chat and they're gonna tell me what's happening, what's the problem, or whatever worries they have. So they're gonna tell me, and but they said some people, they don't really need advice. What they just want is someone to listen.
Exactly. Yeah.
Most of the time, I just listen. I don't really often give advice because I'm not sure what kind of advice they really need. Like some certain problems. So, of course, I haven't been through all the problems in this world. So, what I try to do is just tell them, because I cannot say that it's okay, it's okay. No, I think that's the worst thing to say.
During that time.
Yeah. So what I always say is, we don't have a choice. It already happened. Now what you have to do is think. Think of ways on how you can not really forget, but how you can solve it. Like, I tried to help them clear their minds.
Yeah.
I think only that.
But that's already like a big help.
I guess so.
Because small things like that already can make a big impact on people. You don't really have to go too far. You don't really have to do like major effort. Just the fact that you're there to listen, you're there to help, that's already enough for them.
Exactly.
So you don't have to really force things there. It's actually great. A lot of people are going through this stuff. So being able to talk about something that could relate to anyone, especially those who cannot really speak their minds about this. And this is also an eye-opener to many people who, for people who have not yet maybe encountered people with this.
Yeah.
So, wow. That was like a very deep conversation, but with a lot of like mixed emotions.
Well, yes, I agree.
Yeah, so watch out for the next episode because we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. This is not the end. This is just the first episode, so we hope that you follow through. We've got lots of stuff in store for you. And we're newbies to this podcast thing, so please bear with us.
Yes, please understand us. We're trying our best.
Speaking in public is not easy for us, so please bear with us.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Still
a work in progress. If you want to offer assistance, thank you.
Would be glad to accept that.
Exactly. Anyway, so good night, good morning, wherever you may be, and may you Have a great day or great evening. Keep safe, wear your masks. Philippians chapter 4, verse 6. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God.
And that's all the time that we have for today. We hope you learned something from our discussion. Don't worry though, this ain't the end. Follow us on Spotify, Soundcloud, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook for more. And make sure to click like, follow, and subscribe.
New episodes are out every Saturday, 3 p.m. Philippine Standard Time. So be sure to turn on your notifications to keep you updated. Let's now climb back down and see each other again. Same tree, same place, same people. Bora
And Jayu.
See y'all real soon. Keep safe and God bless.